Hi there, I'm Sam. I'm one of the founding engineers here at Jack and Jill, and I'm here to answer your questions on how we've built the two agents. Let's go. How do you ship so fast? So firstly, that's very kind. We have a really small team of really experienced folks working here, and we're granted like a crazy amount of autonomy. We're all trying to be as optimized in our workflow as possible. We're spending a long time figuring out how best to use these LLMs for Jack and Jill, and I think that also gives us a bit of an edge when we're using things like Cursor and Claude Code and how best to use them, and that means that we can build things really fast. How much of Jack is vibe coded? All of it, pretty much. We kind of have to walk the walk. If we're building AI agents, we should be using them coding, and I think internally we've gotten some really good rules of thumb on how to use these things to make sure that you're not kind of producing AI slop. What's my number one rule of thumb for vibe coding? You have to learn the skill of how to communicate what the problem is. As engineers, we get taught to get high-level problems and turn them into low-level instructions, which is code. And actually you have to sort of unlearn that when you're working with AI agents. You have to be thinking about what is the sort of conceptual hierarchy, what's the big picture, and what you'll find is the sort of better you do that and the sort of smarter you regard these models, actually the higher quality output you get. How does Jack feel so human? We want a single Jack agent that operates over loads of different modalities, and that takes a lot of engineering work. The Jack that you send an email to, the Jack that you chat to on web chat, and the Jack that you're calling is like the same under the hood. Every single point, Jack is trying to think, is this an opportunity for me to learn something a bit more about the user? We even have sort of notes that Jack's making about, you know, how serious or how jovial you want to be, because that's important. Like you want to have like a cohesive and continual experience with this agent. How does Jack search for jobs? So we've built the search engine for Jack completely in-house. We thought in the age of LLMs, it's worth sort of thinking from first principles. We first cast a wide net using an embedding search, and we gather like hundreds of jobs that would be sort of relevant based on sort of similarity. And then we have a sort of army of LLMs go through these jobs and essentially write reasons as to why they would be a good match or not based on your search preferences.